Finally, we are going to do this part 2. I was really confused what to do in the part 2 because there are many things to cover in Neovim LSP, but we are going to cover 3 things. The first one is about key mappings. So the optimized key mappings. The second one is about the configuration. The third one is about a little introduction to the extensibility because Neovim LSP is so extensible. Before we get started, if you don't know, I am also maintaining a blog in here. This blogging is like if you can just copy paste the code from here because the codes are too big, and you can just experiment with the code and change it according to your flexibility. Now let's get started and let's just see what is the directory structure. So that directory structure is going to be like the first thing you want to have an init.vim. Okay, you want to have this init.vim in here. This is a basic requirement. Now the second thing is you can have this Lua folder, and inside the Lua folder you will have lspconfig.lua. So this is the directory requirement we have. Okay, and now in the init.vim we should have first 3 plugins. Okay, the first one is Neovim LSP config, the second one is completion nvim, the third one is diagnostic nvim. Diagnostic nvim is for better diagnostics. It is self-explanatory. Go ahead and GitHub and check it. Okay, and now we can just directly source the Lua file. Okay, we don't need the intermediate Vim file. Okay, with the Lua required thing, and we just pass lsp config. This is the same file like lspconfig.lua. So let's just go in lspconfig.lua. So this is lspconfig.lua. Now what we are going to do is we can directly map the key bindings that I showed in the last video in the Lua file itself. Okay, this is so optimized. Why I will tell you. And the second thing is I just defined the mapping function. Okay, so this is the mapping function I defined. So what mapping function looks like is it just takes the type that it's like normal mapping, insert mode mapping, then the key like what you want to map, and the value with what you want to map. Okay, and internally it uses the Neovim API, and it provides some like sensible defaults like no remap and silent equal to true, all those things. Now in the attach function that I talked about in the last video, what you can do is you can also put a print statement. What it enables you is to, when like your language server is slow like JDT ls, so you don't know when language server is gonna start, so you get this information LSP started, and it basically helps you like with the mindset. Okay, the second thing is this completion and diagnostic engine. Okay, attach this with the client itself. Okay, now then we can use our map function here, and with this map function like you can map all those things that I have shown you. And what mappings you can do is like vim.lsp.buff bottom left, you can just see. Okay, dot hover, something like that, and these are the all function you can just see in the help page. Okay, these are the all function you can map. These are very helpful. Help pages are very helpful. Okay, so you can just see, and I have mapped all those things. Okay, so this is how you can do the mappings. The advantage here is you are doing the mapping inside the custom attach function. That means these mappings are only active when your LSP client is attached. Otherwise these mappings are not active. This is like an intuitive behavior we want to have. And one more thing is the internal API we are using is saying something like we are doing the key map for the buffer, like the buffer only. That means if any buffer doesn't have attached LSP client, it will not have this key mapping. So that is like good. What we want to have, it's like an auto CMD kind of behavior without auto CMD. So it's like optimal now and fast also. Okay, so now this is the thing, the key binding. The second one, the second thing I was talking about, the configuration. So the configuration is like I talked about okay, you can do LSP install and install some server, but what happens when you do something like LSP install and clang d? It says clang d is cannot be automatically installed. So that's bad. That's really bad. We think that it's now hard to install. We have to do many steps and we have to write. No. Why it is so? Because clang d or some like packages like this are very common packages and may be available very commonly in software repository. For example, I use Arch Linux, by the way, and in the Clang package itself, they ship the Clang D So that means I get clang D, let's say by default, something like that. And now what you only need to do is you need to clang D, yeah, you need to just put it like this. Okay, require nvim LSP clang D setup on attach is equal to custom attach, and that's it. That means you have to ensure that you have the clang D binary installed. That's it, nothing else you have to do. This is the best thing. And when you get some language server like this that doesn't have LSP install command active, that means you should go to your software repository and check it that this command should be there in the software repository. Okay, so now this is the second thing about the configuration, but configuration not this much. There are many things. Okay, so if I just go to my blocks and I zoom it a little bit. Okay, oh, I'm zooming myself only. No. Okay, zoom it a little bit. Okay, and let me just go down. Okay, so yeah, the configuration what we can have is something like root dir. Dir is like okay, in where you can write the configuration. This is the first question. So in the setup function, okay, this setup function is actually a table only. Okay, the setup function is a table only. That means it can have the key and value. If you don't know Lua tables, just go and get in check in about the Lua tables. It's so easy thing. Okay, so what the things you can have is like a root dir. Root dir is a function that just takes the file name and buffer number. Okay, and it just returns that what is the root directory for this language server protocol server. Okay, so this is the root dir thing. The second one is file type. It just filters the file type. So for example, JDT-ls is there and you just pass Java or maybe clang D is there and you just pass CPP in here, so it would not be active on the C file or CC file, something like that. Now the third one is settings map. Okay, it works for the events corresponding to workspace / configuration. It is highly undocumented. Okay, badly documented, so and it differs from language server to language server, so I cannot really comment on it much. The fourth one is on attach function. On attach function, I just we are like from the first day we are doing the things on it. So this is something you can do. Okay, and this is like the configuration. But what the bonus you have is this thing. I have this Lua configuration. Okay, Lua language server configuration. I have done this settings thing that I talked about is highly like undocumented, but I just like somehow exploded and I got okay the things you can do in here. And with this setting configuration, what you can have is you can have something like auto completion for Vim APIs. That is not by default. So if I just pass Vim dot, then you can just see API, FN and all those things we are getting. So this is by default we are getting. Okay, this is by this configuration we are getting. So this is what it is. This is about the configuration. So if you want to get into the configuration, you have to go inside the setup function. This is the first thing. And if you want to get more inside like details like more language specific things, what you need to do is go inside the settings thing. So the settings thing is like one thing, but it is unfortunately highly undocumented by many language server configurations. Okay, so these are the things there. Okay, this is like the configuration part. Let's go to the third and the most important. Okay, extensibility. It's a broad topic. I cannot cover much of it. It likes like 20-30 videos of this kind cannot cover okay that topic, but we are gonna do something. Okay, so what we are gonna do is okay, we will go and take an example. Okay, we are gonna go and take an example. So for example, let me just go in. Okay, let me just make it bigger. Okay, I just open this indexer.java file. That's a simple file. Okay, I would wait for LSP start because JDT-ls is too slow. If it okay, it started. Now what I would do is I would go down to the blocking queue, I would just delete it, then delete this line. So when I delete this line, I should get an error, but oh my god, the Java language server is so bad. Okay, it is not giving me errors. That's so bad. Okay, let me just close it and give some other example. Okay, so come on, cd git / sushi frontend. I wanted to give that example, but anyways, okay. So we have this app.tsx in here, then we have this home. Okay, now I have deleted this like the import for the home. When I press space AF, okay, I get the code actions. That is what I mapped in there, okay, with the mapping. So code actions like, okay, you can do these sort of things on this line, okay, and then what I need to do is I need to press 1 or 2, okay, according to my choice. Okay, I would enter 1 and enter, and then import would be done. Okay, so this is what is happening. But really I hate this behavior. I really hate this behavior. I don't love it because I feel that it makes me slow, and I'm pretty sure that you guys also hate it. Okay, if you don't hate it, let me just show you sushi.js. Okay, web3. Yeah, and let me just press GR. That's like go to references, and when I press GR, what I think is I should directly get into the quick fix list. Okay, but what is there that I am currently in the code itself that I really don't like. However, it's a bug. I reported it and they responded. They have to correct it out. Anyways, if I get in here and I need to go to the other thing, I would just like do this J and K, all those things, and then I press and enter. I am here. Okay. And then if I want to get again to the quick fix list, I will say Control J and again all those things. If I have to close the quick fix list, like I would just press Q, something like that. Okay, actually like colon Q. Okay, so these are the things you need to do. However, like even I hate it. So you can just see that there are many defaults that are insane defaults and we don't like it. However, you can just change it because Neovim LSP is so extensible. Now, how you can change it, I am gonna give a demo. It's not like I am gonna do something better in this video. What I am gonna do is I am gonna give you a starting point of it. Okay, that this is a starting point you can get into. Okay, so now I am gonna write some sort of code. Okay, so let me just write a little bit of code. You need to have some knowledge of Lua in here. If you don't have, you can just go to their documentation. It's so easy language. I just learned it in 20 minutes. That's so less interval to learn a language. Okay, but I learned it. Okay, so local function, custom code action. Okay, and I just don't know if I remember it right. Okay, so the function looks like this, and what it does, it just prints vim.inspect. Okay, action. That's it. That is what it does. And then what we can do is vim.lsp. Okay, vim.lsp and dot callbacks. Okay, and text document / code action, okay, is equal to custom code action. Okay, so this is what you can do. Okay, this is what you can do. And now with this thing, I would just retry the code action thing one more time. Okay, let me retry it. App.tsx and home. Okay, space AF. And you can see I didn't get any input thing like previously. But what happened? You just type messages, okay, and you can just see that I got a big message. It is this message from LSP server. Okay, so what we did is we just have overadded the callback. Okay, so that means every action like that that we map is a callback, and we can just override it. So Neovim provides you instant defaults. You can override it, okay, using this thing. So you just write a function, okay, like that, and then what you need to do is you need to do vim.lsp.callbacks and then give that function. And the next time You do that, okay, that function is executed, and currently you can just see this is what it has been executed. The print vim-lsp action, that means what is the action, it is printed, and we can just see the actions, and based on this action text itself we can just make the decision and we can do many things. Okay, so this is like the extensibility. Okay, this is the part of extensibility. I know that this is too less. Okay, this is too less. It is not like I have implemented something very big. Okay, but yeah, it's a starting point. You can just go and you can just explore this callback. You can just do some things with the action. Okay, you can one more thing you can do, you can have is you can just look into vim.lsp.util. Okay, and this util actually it gives you many functions that you can utilize in here, and it makes your job easier. Okay, so these are the things. Now these are the things we have. What I have did, because I just found it very annoying to have those code actions like that in there. Okay, so what I did is I just mapped it. Okay, I just did some custom things. Let me show you what it looks like. So I would just do .install. Okay, and let me just restart the server. Okay, vim and app.tsx. Okay, and then home. Okay, it's there, and space af, and I get a floating menu. Yes, I get a floating menu. You can just see I get a floating menu in here. That's so awesome. That feels so awesome for me. Okay, I get this floating menu. I can just press it and it's done. This is so awesome for me. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second thing is, for example, I showed you this references thing. Okay, the references. So let me just go in web 3, and yeah, the web 3, and I just press gr. Okay, and let me just actually like okay, gr, and you can just see that I get all those preview, that the previews are there. That is like so good for me. I just want this preview, and when I press enter, I just get in there and the quick fix is automatically closed. This is what I want personally. This is personally what I want, and this is what I have implemented. Comment below if you want to like get to know about this thing, this extension. Okay, and I can just make a new video on it. Okay, a separate video on it, because it's gonna be a like big video, because it's a big thing. Okay, big code, not a big thing, it's a big code only. Okay, so this is all about this thing. Okay, this is like I just gave you a trailer that what you can do. This is what it is. Okay, hope you guys like it. Okay, hope it was not a time waste this time, because we just covered like very little thing, but you know that it is gonna be like the building blocks. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, hope you learned something. See you guys next time. You can